It
I
doesn't
mean,
affect Watt at all. Zero.
well, so this is the low hanging fruit that immediately everybody jumps on. Deshaun Elliott got an extension. How's TJ Watt feel about that? They got Deshaun Elliott done before they got him done. Well, here's a thought.
$6
Just a
million
thought.
compared to 40.
Yeah, first of all, the money's completely different. Second of all, maybe TJ isn't in a rush to sign his. There's a thought out there, and I'm not saying he doesn't want to sign in Pittsburgh and that he doesn't want it done before the season, if not before training camp, if they can get it done before training camp. But there's another thing going on in the league, and that's that Micah Parsons is going to break the bank at some point this summer. He's going to sign the biggest defensive contract in NFL history, we presume, with the Dallas Cowboys. So we keep talking about, is TJ going to get more than Myles Garrett? Is that maybe what he's holding out for? Maybe TJ's looking as much at Micah Parsons and waiting to see what he gets, to see how, look, the Garrett deal already reset the edge rusher market, the linebacker market once this offseason. The Parsons deal is going to do it again. It's going to push the thing even farther out. And maybe TJ's waiting for that shoe to drop. His agent is waiting for that shoe to drop so that they can push for even more money in his extension.
I don't know how much the total amount of money really means anything. I don't think he's looking at Micah Parsons, because I don't even view those two as playing the same position. That's sort of like Le'Veon Bell wanting to get paid as a wide receiver and a running back. Oh, okay, that's nice and all, but it just doesn't seem like how it works, really. So I don't really compare those two. I don't think he's that interested in being the highest paid guy. I think I keep going back to it. I think he wants to be some security, the guaranteed money. And if he gets paid more than Myles Garrett by a buck, whatever. I think that's more of an issue than anything else. But we don't know. I mean, with JJ throwing out, well, you could have got it done earlier. I mean, I don't think that matters. I don't think it really, really matters to him. Who cares if he got it done earlier or later? Who cares if he gets it done now or January or whatever, September 9th? As long as you feel comfortable with that number. And if it's up to the Steelers, maybe they did offer him something to the point where he says, let's just hold off a little bit. I'm just going to hold out anyways, hold in anyway. So, I mean, you could be on to something where he just said, I'm not going to risk myself anyways. Also, let's see how this plays out.
Exactly.
Then I can have more stroke here, more play on this negotiations. I mean, I don't view him as a guy that would do something like that. But a lot of times it's out of his control, too. If the agent says, hey, this is
that's what I'm saying. Like, agents like to make more money for their players because then
what did he do last time? I mean, he denied it, but TJ said, hey, go in there and get it done now. And
right. And I imagine we might get to that point again, right? Where TJ gets deep into training camp and says, listen, let's just get this done. I'm tired of sitting around. I'm tired of holding in, or maybe it's a hold out this year. Who knows? But the agent wants to make as much money as possible because he makes as much money as possible. Then it also looks better for his business, right? Yeah. If he can get TJ Watt a deal that's on par with Garrett and whatever Parsons might get when he extends with the Cowboys, that looks a whole hell of a lot better than he's sitting there on that second tier, if you want to call it that, with, say, Max Crosby. And I think I wouldn't blame anybody for doing that. I just think it's an interesting point that people haven't thought of. I haven't heard it brought up a lot. And that, again, the low-hanging fruit of, well, Deshaun Elliott got a deal. What's TJ? TJ doesn't care about Deshaun Elliott's deal. Like, that has, like you said, the money is so different that it has no impact. TJ's the kind of player that has his eye on what's going on, or at least his agent has an eye on what's going on around the rest of the league, not just what's going on in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that even a team like Dallas has enough money. They got plenty of money underneath the cap. So, even when you're paying Dak Prescott,
$60 million a year.
His guarantee, what is it? His cap number is 50 this year. Parsons, it's obviously 24. A guy named Terrence Steele. I'm going to have to look him up. I'm not too familiar with his work, I'm sure, but he's getting $18 million. CeeDee Lamb, 15. I mean, there's some guys that are getting paid there as well, but they do have enough money to be able to add him underneath the cap. So I don't think that's the issue, but I know you're a big Micah Parsons fan for obvious reasons.
We are.
I don't think that he's a $40 million player. The only thing that makes him maybe a $40 million player is that he's what, 26? Is that
He's
how old
younger
he
than
is?
everybody else we're talking about in the edge rusher
That's
market.
huge. I mean, that is
And,
that pushes him over the top. Let me see how old he is.
and
Was
he's
it?
also versatile enough, Kaboom, that he doesn't just line up as an edge rusher, right? He's all over the field.
Yeah. But
And
sometimes that
so
hurts you though. So you don't have those big numbers. He didn't have big sack numbers.
no, but I don't think anybody would argue that Micah Parsons as is impactful on a game on the defensive side of the ball as Myles Garrett or TJ Watt is.
Yeah, yeah.
If not more
when
so
you're
at
just
times.
saying, hey, look at this stats, man. It just doesn't add up to what Myles Garrett and TJ Watt's playing. Then you have to argue back and forth. But he does something like Le'Veon. Okay, you're not a wide receiver. You don't run wide receiver routes, but look at my numbers. They had 85 catches, so I should be paid like both of them. It's just sometimes that's counterproductive to be able to do that. You just basically look at stats and try to find the net value. That's why probably is hard because you crunch all these numbers together and it spits out a number. This is your market value. That probably doesn't apply to Micah Parsons because he doesn't have the out of the world stats, but he means so much to the team. He could have out of the world stats if they put him in position to do that.
Well, and he's also in a place where if you put enough pressure on the owner, he will cave. He will give you what you want. Like we're talking a very different situation in Dallas from Pittsburgh.
You're
I mean,
talking about a team that's feeling the pressure. Whew.
yeah, I mean, and they did it to themselves by giving Prescott the amount of money that he did. So now Micah Parsons and the Parsons Prescott online beef between the families anyway has been well noted. But like Parsons is going to walk in or his agent's going to walk in and say, you're telling me Micah isn't as important to the team as Dak? And Jerry's going to go, well, now wait now. That's not what I'm saying. He's going to go all foghorn, leghorn. Now see what I say it was. And, he's going to end up giving Micah north of 45. I wouldn't be surprised per year to get him in that Dak neighborhood. And so Micah Parsons and his agent can feel good.
TJ, though? Say Micah comes out tomorrow and they're like, we're giving him 45 average a year.
Mm-hmm.
You think TJ goes, oh, time out. You got to up it now.
Maybe not TJ, like you said, but his agent's going to say, guys,
how does this affect the Steelers?
How's that affect the Steelers?
If he comes out with this asinine number and he signs for it, the TJ say, okay, let's reevaluate this now. Or does that push him more closer to the 40 that the Myles Garrett's getting?
If the market gets reset, then you've got to say, hey, that just happened. And this is the price you pay. You referenced JJ and what he had to say a couple weeks ago. This is the price you pay for not getting it done earlier. Had you gotten it done 4 months ago, we wouldn't be talking about Myles Garrett's deal. We wouldn't be talking about Micah Parsons' perspective deal.
I mean, if he's going to hold out or hold in, why not play this game from January 10th or whenever the season was over on? This is my last year. I'm going to hold out until everybody's in the books. And then I'm going to say, hey, I want more money than all this. Maybe this was a plan altogether. Maybe when Jage is talking about is maybe last year, but we know how that